So, since we are already going to the higher accounting topics, so to be specific, we are already going to the financial accounting and reporting topics. So, before we do that, let me give you the possible type of questions that you might encounter in quizzes, tests, exams, or even the board examinations after this short intro. So, again, before we go and start talking about the next topic after the episode 13, again, let me give you a summary of what might be the questions that will be asked in your quizzes, tests, or board examination related to financial accounting and reporting subject. Okay? But what is this subject all about? So this subject is mainly composed of accounting standards for different account titles. Like for example, accounting for cash and cash equivalents, or the standards on accounting for inventories, or accounting for investments, or accounting for bonds payable, and other accounts. Okay? Now, guys, you can actually group or classify the possible questions that might be asked of you, even if there are a lot of topics in the financial accounting and reporting subject. Okay? So, in financial accounting, normally, the questions are classified as MAP. So that's the acronym that I made for myself in my college days because I wanted to know what are all the possible questions that might happen on a test or examination. So I'm fond of making acronyms. So again, the acronym is MAP. So M is for measurement related questions. A is for accounting or recording related questions. And P is for presentation related questions. So in the future, if you will answer questions or if you are going to study, so the questions related to financial accounting and reporting, remember that the possible questions are most probably classified as the map. Okay? Now it's time to elaborate. So let's start with the measurement related questions. So if we're talking about measurement related questions, some of these questions might be related to initial measurement of an asset, liability, equity, revenue, or expense accounts. Example, how to initially measure the property, plant, and equipment, or the inventory, or the other assets newly acquired by the entity. Because actually, guys, there are different types of measurement for each account. Like for example, the cash is normally measured at face value. So, whatever amount is seen on the face of the bills, just like this one, in, in the actual cash, that is the measurement already. So, no need to solve or estimate something for this one. While property, plant, and equipment is initially measured at historical cost. So, historical cost is actually the amount that you paid to acquire the property, plant, and equipment. While the other items are recognized at other measurement bases, like some items are recognized at market value or fair value, where those values are based on the prices found in the market. Now, aside from initial measurement, these measurement questions might also include questions related to subsequent measurements of accounts. Like, for example, machinery as a member of property, plant, and equipment, as I've told you earlier, shall be measured initially at cost or historical cost. But subsequently, when these properties and machineries were put to use, normally they are measured at historical cost less depreciation. So that's just one of the examples. So you will know more about this subsequent measurement of other items in the next episodes. Okay? And lastly, measurement related questions might also include measurements for specific transactions. Like for example, how to measure PPE received in exchange of an old PPE that you have given up. Something like that. So in here, you will realize that measurement questions is not only limited to measurement of specific accounts like measurement of cash, receivable, inventories, PPE, payables, and others. It also includes measurement of transactions. Okay? So again, in summary, if you are asked about accounting for specific account titles or item, the questions might include measurement-related questions. And these measurement-related questions might include questions related to initial valuations of the accounting items, subsequent measurement of those items, or measurement of specific transactions. Okay? So next is the A, or the accounting or recording of transactions. So questions here are directly related on how to make an entry for a particular transaction or particular transactions, like what to debit or what to credit. So like what to debit or credit when the market value of an asset changes, or what is the debit and credit to record effective interest expense, something like that. Okay? And lastly, we have the P, which is the presentation related questions. So in here, questions regarding this classification are related to how will you present the account and its balance in the financial statements. Like for example, if you have a loans payable balance of 3 million, for example, where will you present it? Is it in the income statement or on the balance sheet? Of course, it's on the balance sheet. But where on the balance sheet? Should it be part of the equity, or the liabilities, or the assets? Of course, it's part of the liabilities. But where on the liabilities? Will it be part of the current liabilities, or the non-current liabilities? Or is it mixed? Mixed meaning part of the liabilities balance should be recognized as current and part of the liabilities should be considered as non-current. So, if it's mixed, how much will be presented in the current liability section and how much will be reflected on the non-current liabilities? And lastly, aside from recognizing them in the balance sheet or the income statement, do we need to put its details and other information in the disclosures? If yes, then what are those details? Okay? So, again, if you study a topic or an item in the financial accounting and reporting, like for example, you want to study accounting for loans receivable, then you just need to answer all the possible questions. So these questions can be M, or measurement related questions, or they can be A, or accounting or recording related questions, or they could be questions related to presentation. So, that's the end of this video lecture. In the next episode, we will be talking about already the promised accounting for loans payable, loans receivable, and debt restructuring. And in there, we will specify more specific than this and enumerate the possible questions that you might encounter in the accounting for loans and debt restructuring. So if you learned, please click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated on my next videos. And also select all. Okay? So thank you for watching and see you on the next one.